Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome to another video. This time we're going to talk about the Lightning Collection Psycho Green Ranger. Now, Green was not originally part of the live action continuity. He did not come until the comic book of the Boom stuff. And basically, he originally came about from betraying his team, murdering them, escaping to the moon after betraying the dude he betrayed his team with, and then getting stuck there. He only woke up like 100 years later, and then he basically gave the Power Rangers of 1959 that work. So I'm going to leave that at that. So without further ado, though, let's talk about the toy. If you haven't read the Boom Studio stuff, I highly recommend that you do. Overall, we're just getting a recolor of the red, the blue, basically the Psycho Rangers in general. Green, though, on the other hand, is the original Psycho Ranger. He is not a cyborg that was created. He was still tapped into the morphing grid and basically warped his power. Therefore, you get this guy. So this is why he is actually way more powerful than the others. So look-wise, I really like these. I like the color on them. I'm glad they decided to do him, even as a Hasbro exclusive. Totally fine with it. And yeah, it's one of those things where it's novel. One thing I will say, though, is that I feel like Hasbro's playing it safe. While they've given us technically bad guys, they've given us no Monster of the Week, no real special stuff besides long-standing characters like Goldar, Rita, and Zed. Like, we still haven't gotten stuff from other seasons. So to get comic book stuff before we've gotten what other people already know is a little bit of, I don't know, it's kind of like messing with us. So I'm hoping this continues to a point where we do get those other type of characters, because playing it safe doesn't always work out in your favor. So articulation-wise, we can look up and down, but it's very limited because it's stuck right there on that neck. And even if I pull up a little, it's going to be very hindered. This is why I was talking about a head sitting too low. The head is sitting too low. I don't know what's up with me lately, man. But this is definitely one of those things where you can still look left and right. But the problem with the head sitting so low, it will hinder any sort of real movement that you could have gotten. Our arms can only go up, but so far. And that is because you had the armor sitting here at the top that kind of shaves in a little. So while you'll be able to get at a 90-degree pose, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. Sometimes it's a little wonky. We do have bicep swivel, and we are double jointed. So we can still flex the muscles if we really, really wanted to. We have a standard Figma peg leg joint for Hasbro, where it pegs in and out with no problem. It is horizontal on both and not vertical. For our ab crunch, though, we still have excellent ab crunch going forward and supremely going backwards. And it gets there. And we could tilt side to side as well, too. We get forward leg movement. We have a swivel cut on the boot, and we have a thigh cut, as well as being double jointed. But mine are a little gummy, so I got to be careful. There we go. Yep. Got to flex the muscle sometimes. And we have our super generous ankle pivot. The problem with the neck sitting a little too low is that I really want to get that really good movement. And it really bothers me that I won't be able to get it right away. So I can't pose him the way exactly I want to, but I can still get there. As you can see here, he can still be posed up with no problem. At least not for me. For everybody else, I can't speak for. But for me, it's not too big of an issue. There we go. Switch that focus up. So this is all right. I like where this is going. Getting this done on camera is very therapeutic for me. So I like it. Now, next up, we're going to do accessories. So let's get to that. I'm not even going to, do what I do. But anyway, we don't get much of accessories with this guy. We actually get the bare minimum. And again, for a $20 figure, I'm totally fine with that. You're going to get your standard effect part hand. And if you really want, you can actually cut this off, because all their hands are the same. So you can cut this off and use this green electricity for whatever reason you want. But I highly recommend, if you have an extra, cut it off and then use it as an extra action hand. And then you'll get a closed fist hand. And you'll get the two open hands. And that is for holding his dagger. Oh, wow. Why did you do that? Why'd you fall on me, buddy? What made you fall? Oh, it's the lopsidedness. That makes more sense. But the dagger's pretty cool. Obviously, this is a reference towards our Green Ranger here in Mighty Morphin. But considering this guy came way before, it's not really one of those things where it was, you know, it's kind of like I don't know how to use the word for it. But it's kind of like a history repeating itself. Accessory-wise, Psycho Green does not come with a lot. But again, for a $20 figure, it's not one of those things I really have an issue with. So we get our standard Psycho Ranger electric or whatever it is effect. I don't know what it is, but we're gonna call it lightning. Psycho Lightning. Actually, that's a pretty good name. Psycho Lightning. And if you want, I can recommend that you can cut these and you have an extra open hand. If you have an extra red or blue Psycho, I'd recommend that. Don't do it with your green because he was like a true exclusive, I guess. So yeah, plugs right in. You have the hand there for that. You'll get a closed fist. Then you'll get a dagger, which is funny because he's green with a dagger. Then we have the Green Ranger with a dagger. Kind of like history repeating itself, which is pretty funny. But then you can just place a dagger inside. Have a nice little cool pose. This guy. Yeah. And then you also get kind of like that impact effect. His will be green as well. As you can see, my background's kind of green. And that's it for accessories. So it's one of those things where, again, doesn't come with much. $20 figure, just fun to have around and you know, do cool pictures with. Especially if you have the other Psycho Rangers. You can have a reunion, especially with Lord Dracon. So in the meantime, let's jump to those size comparisons. So let's do that. Now that we're here on the size comparison stuff, let's first start with the Lightning Collection stuff. Get it pretty much, we kind of know what we're getting already by now. Again, if you've seen any other Psycho Ranger review, but here we are doing it anyway. Here he is next to a Putty Patroller. Here he is next to the Green Ranger. Here he is next to the Ranger Slayer. Fix her bow. Shout out to Flashpoint for that bow and designing Case for actually making that 3D print. And here's Rita Repulsa. Yeah. So as you can see, he's a little bit smaller, closer to the Ranger Slayer size. But again, it's one of those things where I am okay with things being different sizes. That kind of stuff does not bother me. But for those of you who like to see your stuff across the board at the same height, this may trouble you. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. But let's jump into some other sizes. So let's do that. Next up, we got my main man, Goldar. Just want to throw him in there. Just in case he, you know, you want your Psycho Rangers to have beef with Goldar. You can have that interplanetary fighting, inner bad guy fighting. Here is Beachhead from G.I. Joe. Here's an Articulated Icons Ninja. Because ninjas can fight on the moon. Ninjas can do just about anything. Here is a Marvel Legends Moon Knight. And that's the next group. Again, on the smaller side, but it works for me. Because definitely when you're doing those cool action shots, size won't really matter because everyone's in these weird, awkward positions of doing sayas and kicks and stuff like that. So it works out. Here is a Mezco Me. Here is a Mythic Legions Gold Knight with a Balam head, but it looks cool. Here's an SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Kuga, and I think that the Psycho stuff works really well with SHF Figuarts because they're definitely in the same realm. And here is a 1000 Toys Carb. All in all, a fun, simple figure. If you bought the rest of the Psycho stuff, this guy is definitely going to be added onto your list for obvious reasons, especially if you're reading the comic books. If you missed out, I guess somebody can recolor it for you. It's just that you're really going to be missing that dagger because that's the main real thing that's exclusive with him. Overall, I like the toy. I just think that Hasbro's playing a little bit too safe with giving us just recolors at this point, and I would really like a Pudgy Pig. Don't ask me why. I just want it. I do. I just want it. But in the meantime, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you found it informative. And as always, please be good, do good, drink your water. Later.